signaling at 100 million miles. Then it is contended that it is beyond human power and ingenuity to convey signals to the almost inconceivable distances of 50 million or 100 million miles. This might have been a valid argument formerly. It is not so now. Most of those who are enthusiastic upon the subject of interplanetary communication have reposed their faith in the light ray as the best possible medium of such communication. True, waves of light, owing to their immense rapidity of succession, can penetrate space more readily than waves less rapid, but a simple consideration will show that by their means an exchange of signals between this Earth and its companions in the solar system is, at least now, impossible. By way of illustration, let us suppose that a square mile of the Earth's surface, the smallest area that might possibly be within reach of the best telescopic vision of other worlds, were covered with incandescent lamps, packed closely together so as to form, when illuminated, a continuous sheet of light. It would require not less than 100 million horsepower to light this area of lamps, and this is many times the amount of motive power now in the service of man throughout the world. But with the novel means, proposed by myself, I can readily demonstrate that, with an expenditure not exceeding 2,000 horsepower, signals can be transmitted to a planet such as Mars with as much exactness and certitude as we now send messages by wire from New York to Philadelphia. These means are the result of long-continued experiment and gradual improvement. Some 10 years ago, I recognized the fact that to convey electric currents to a distance, it was not at all necessary to employ a return wire, but that any amount of energy might be transmitted by using a single wire. I illustrated this principle by numerous experiments, which, at that time, excited considerable attention among scientific men. This being practically demonstrated, my next step was to use the Earth itself as the medium for conducting the currents, thus dispensing with wires and all other artificial conductors. So I was led to the development of a system of energy transmission and of telegraphy without the use of wires, which I described in 1893. The difficulties I encountered at first in the transmission of currents through the Earth were very great. At that time I had at hand only ordinary apparatus, which I found to be ineffective, and I concentrated my attention immediately upon perfecting machines for this special purpose. This work consumed a number of years, but I finally vanquished all difficulties and succeeded in producing a machine which, to explain its operation in plain language, resembled a pump in its action, drawing electricity from the Earth and driving it back into the same at an enormous rate, thus creating ripples or disturbances which, spreading through the Earth as through a wire, could be detected at great distances by carefully attuned receiving circuits. In this manner I was able to transmit to a distance, not only feeble effects for the purposes of signaling, but considerable amounts of energy, and later discoveries I made convinced me that I shall ultimately succeed in conveying power without wires, for industrial purposes, with high economy, and to any distance, however great.